I was leaving class and biking, but my bike is kind of old and doesn't work well anymore. So I fell right in front of 50 people, in front of my college. They all laughed, especially the guys made some comments like, "No way, look at that bitch falling off her bike." I tried to get up, only to fell again. God, I wanted to die. And they laughed even harder. I made a comment to lighten the mood like, now I had to drop out, which definitely helped with the embarrassment. However, my cheeks turned red, and I acted very awkward when I first fell. This is gonna haunt me forever. I met this guy for the first time, and we went for dinner. He was so handsome and everything was going well. We even kissed and there was an instant connection. But I drank too much alcohol to calm my nerves that I passed out back at the hotel. He was scared and called the receptionist from the hotel to help him, as I was unresponsive. Then I went and sat on the toilet for ages. I was throwing up everywhere, and he cleaned it up. To make it worse, my period then started, and I also bled everywhere, all over the white sheets. He didn't leave my side, even though he didn't know me as that's the first time we'd met. Now I'm so ashamed to open his messages. He's being very mature and understanding, but I degraded myself in front of him when it was supposed to be a romantic date night. He said I was having panic attacks, and eventually they had to call an ambulance who spoke with me over the phone to help calm me down. He also said I was calling him in different guys' names, and I was paranoid, thinking he was going to kill or rape me. He honestly was so lovely before I got drunk with how he handled everything was just perfect. But how the hell do I move on from this embarrassing moment? If he ever does want to see me again, it's going to forever haunt me. How can I ever be sexy around him when he's seen me like that? For the context, I have been constipated for about a month and been on heavy laxatives, so me and my boyfriend were in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the highway when I got the urge. I knew there was no holding it and immediately started to panic. We weren't moving anywhere and I started crying. At the moment, I had on a white skirt and a string thong. My boyfriend told me to just let it out and it would be okay, but I still managed to endure it. We finally got out of the traffic and I'm clenching my asshole harder than ever. When we pull into a Target's parking lot, I'm full sprinting through the Target easel. Then I slip on the floor and fall. When I hit the ground, I fart and immediately let out a volcano of diarrhea all over me and the Target floor. I turned bright red with embarrassment at this point. I was just sitting there, shitting myself in tears. Then the janitor told me to go home and that he would clean it. I sat naked in super dead silence the rest of the ride home, and I swear I will never be going to that Target again. I was walking alone at night in a big city, all buildings with fences and long walls. Then two suspicious men approached towards me. They assessed me up and down, exchanged looks. One of them looked behind his shoulder to see if it was all clear and lightly nodded his head for the other to see. I'm toast. I couldn't run on the shoes I had and couldn't stop to do it anyway. My brain was racing. I could scream, but they would rob me, run, and it's just too late when the police came. So what I did was what any sane person would do. Started a big fight with the lamppost and a dove. Screamed and kicked that the lamppost was following me, that it was a remote control, that it wasn't there the day before, that I was the daughter of a media mogul. Then I started to slap and kick the lamppost, calling it a spy, a thief. Then I turned to the dove and called it ungrateful, indecent, disgusting flying rat, should be eaten and dismembered by vultures, and I could eat it alive as well. After that, these guys crossed behind my back completely horrified, they avoiding me and walking towards safety. Last night, I took a shower, and my boyfriend entered the bathroom, started lighting candles, and shut off the lights. I thought he was trying to be romantic, so I continued showering while he waited for me to finish. As I shut off the water, he started blowing the candles out one by one. "What are you doing?" I asked. The room was pitch black. All of a sudden, I felt something grab my foot and yelled, jumped and hit the wall. He started laughing. Turns out he was just trying to scare me.
I was at Walgreens one day, and I let out a stinky egg fart that shit hit my nostrils like a Mayweather jab. So, to make sure I don't carry the smell with me, I stood there for a bit. Looked around for clearance. Then I proceeded to walk away. I look back, and an old man walks straight into the heart of the fart. He starts grimacing and coughing, yelling, "What the fuck?" He got teared gas, and his antics had me rolling so hard. So I farted again. I ran out. I was 19 when this happened. I was at the doctor's. I was getting my back sack and crack checked by this gorgeous, red-headed nurse who unfortunately couldn't tell the difference between a dick and a deck of cards. After 10 minutes, she finishes round the front and puts on another glove to start checking my ass. Here's where it gets interesting. I'm on my back, and every so often she would glance from my yawning asshole to me and back again with a fit smile. I had to use every ounce of the force not to bone her up right then and there. I don't know what possessed me, but as she was finishing up on my ass, I asked, "Here does she want to go for a drink sometime?" I don't know if she pressed something wrong or not, but the second I had asked the question, she moved her fingers, and I nutted straight up into the air to the point it hit the ceiling. I have never been both impressed and mortified in my whole life, and that's how I got the nickname Nutty.